Hey, this is Coach Miller with BTB Lax, and I want to talk about the 5 reasons why Notre Dame was able to take down Maryland in this past weekend's matchup between two top-ranked teams. Notre Dame won the national championship last year in 2023, and Maryland won the championship in 2022. So we got these high-profile programs going at it. It was an awesome day. The Notre Dame football team was there. It was perfect weather out, which is unlikely for this time of year in South Bend. All right, the first reason why Notre Dame was able to take down Maryland was because of the Kavanagh brothers. So let's first take a look at Pat Kavanagh. He's currently a graduate student. Last year, they won the national championship. He was a first-team All-American. He was also an All-ACC team player. And you're going to see all his accolades that he's compiled over his career at Notre Dame. All right, next up is Chris Kavanagh, his younger brother, who's currently a junior. Last year, he was an All-ACC team player. He helped his team win the national championship, and you can kind of see he's starting to build his resume at Notre Dame as well. As a freshman, he started all 12 games. So we'll take a look at some clips here of what they did against Maryland. So here's Pat's first goal of the game, which was ridiculous. You probably saw this all over social media and other YouTube channels. It's literally just he wasn't even looking at the goal there. We'll take a look at that again. He comes around. I mean, he's being guarded by Sabatella, Maryland's top defenseman, who's a first-team All-American. He actually had a big game. We'll look at him in a future video. But just look at this. I mean, there's nothing he can do. I mean, that's good D. And it goes right over his shoulder. And you can see after that goal, it caused the football team to go nuts there right on the sideline. They're all pumped up, cheering for their Irish. All right, so Pat ended up having 4 points in this game, which put him at 240 for the total in his career. He's got 90 goals and 150 assists. But now let's take a look at his brother to see some of the plays that he made in this game. All right, so here we're taking a look at Chris. Here Maryland's up 11-6. They had a 5-goal cushion for an extended period of time. The refs call this in the crease. So when you hear the announcers talk about this, they say that the player needs to be launching away from the goal mouth. And right there, it looks like he's clearly going away from the goal mouth. And the reason why they do that in college lacrosse is to prevent players from running into the goalie and injuring them. Whereas in the PLL, as long as the ball crosses the goal line, which is like this right here, before the player lands, it's a goal. So they end up reviewing this, and they kept the call the way it was because Kavanagh made contact with the goalie, as you can see right about here. That's contacts made, and because of that, they kept the call as stood. But you can see it was a very athletic move, staying out of the crease, going away from the goal mouth, and I was surprised. The announcers were surprised that the call wasn't overturned. But just a few minutes later, Chris Kavanagh gets his chance to get one to count, and we'll take a look. So we get a strong, hard dodge from out of the box, and there's kind of a pseudo slide there. Nothing crazy, but this guy does get his attention with a pass back, as you'll see. And then the one more, and then with that one more, I mean, so now Kavanagh is matched up against the short stick, which was the matchup they're probably looking for. And as soon as he sees that, he's going to salivate and go right to the cage. So he's got this nice little shot fake, which bites, and then he goes. So here we can just take a look at that shot placement for the far pipe. Pretty much the only off hip down. I mean, the goalie never stood a chance. So reason number 2 why Notre Dame was able to take down Maryland was because of Jack Taylor. So let's take a look at Jack. Hey, quick interruption. If you want a free 3-part training series on all the mechanics of shooting, simply click the link right below in the description of this video. I got my good friend Scott Urich to walk you through his shooting system. Scott was an All-American at Georgetown University. He played on Team USA. He is currently the head coach at Georgetown Prep in Bethesda, Maryland. Prep is always a top high school team in the country, and they have a ton of current alumni playing college lacrosse. Scott really knows the art of shooting, so go ahead and check it out. All right, let's get back to it. So Jack can find the back of the net. He's just like so good inside, and he's a big guy. He's 6 feet, 215 pounds, and we'll kind of take a look at some of his accomplishments over his career at Notre Dame. One being last year in a game against Syracuse, he had 8 goals, which tied a single-game record at Notre Dame. But the thing I find interesting is as a freshman and a sophomore, he didn't play that much. He only played in 2 games as a freshman, and he played in 2 games his sophomore year. Then he got hurt. Last year, he missed the first month of the season because he had an injury. You could tell he was starting to come on his junior year, which happens with a lot of college lacrosse players. It takes time to get your confidence, to get things going, to stay healthy. But then he started the last 6 games of his junior year, and that was able to carry him over into his senior year. And then this year, he's a grad student playing in his final year at Notre Dame. So let's take a look at a few clips from Jack. So Maryland got off to a 1-0 start, but then Jack gets him on the board for Notre Dame's first goal. So we'll take a look here. Notre Dame's clearing the ball. Pretty easy clear. And Maryland looks to not be very organized, which is rare for them. Well, I mean, all through the game, Notre Dame was trying to play this game in transition because if Maryland's 6-on-6 defense is very good. The announcers are talking about that the entire time. So here we have 5 Notre Dame guys, and then we have 5 Maryland guys. So it's 5-on-5, but Maryland doesn't do a great job of matching up appropriately. So we can kind of see here. I mean, you want to keep an eye on 13 no matter what. You see they have a small little stack here. They're just playing lacrosse. I mean, I don't think this is a set play or anything. They're just playing off each other. The ball's coming down, and he's going to cut. And you know that they're going to look for him, Jack, to the inside because he's such a good shooter and he's such a good finisher. But he needs to be guarded. And we'll see throughout the game how he has a lot of inside goals. He just does a great job of catching and shooting. But that's just crafty 5-on-5 little play with going out, popping off, and then getting the shot in goal. All right, so next clip here. This is the goal after Kavanagh made that over-the-back no-look shot. So Notre Dame's getting a little bit of confidence here, and that was just a great inside move. I mean, just look at this. So we'll see they're working the ball around. You're going to see Jack down here on the corner. Catches it. He does a great job of catching it and turning at the same time with hardly any angle and just finding the net. He just does a great job of rolling off that defensive pressure, using that momentum from the defenseman to give a little bit of space to find the back of the net. And the announcers are talking about all day how he's a goal scorer. He's just a natural goal scorer. So next up, we have a man-up situation here, and we're going to see our boy there right in the middle. And look at this catch and finish. I mean, he's just looking for him. You know that he's looking for him. I mean, that is a great feed and a great catch and finish here. Look, just look at this. So he's got that stick right by his, his shoulder and his right ear. He just catches it. You know that Kavanagh's looking for him. I mean, those are guys right. I mean, the Maryland guys there. There's a small little window there, but the ball just gets right there. I mean, he's got to be guarded. And just the shot placement alone. I mean, before he went high, there he catches it. And look at that. It looks like he's going to go high, but he goes low for that low off-stick corner. That old low off-stick corner. So Jack has a hat trick early in the game. He's feeling good. All right, the third reason why Notre Dame was able to take down Maryland is because of the Notre Dame ride. And most of it stems from the Kavanagh Brothers' tenacity and then bringing that energy and just making it hard for that defense to clear the ball in the offensive territory. So we'll take a look at a couple clips. All right, so here we have some 6-on-6 offense. Notre Dame's going to the cage, and we have a bad pass thrown or tip. So ball's on the ground. It's in Maryland's stick. And we see all these Notre Dame guys. Now they're in ride mode. All right. So we can see Kavanagh right here just hustling. Look at this hustle of him just grinding, getting that stick check. And then these guys, all these Notre Dame players just hunting the ball. All right. So the ride is all these best lacrosse coaches talk about how the ride's so important and they want their attackmen to be riding nonstop. And the ride gave Maryland a lot of trouble in the first half of this game and allowed them to get off that early lead. Maryland did a better job with it as the game went on, but it provided problems in the beginning. So then what happens from there, Notre Dame gets the ball back, they draw a penalty, and then we see Jack Taylor score that goal. So going into this game, Maryland was over 90% success rate in clearing the ball. But they didn't do that in the first half of this game because of Notre Dame's ride. So let's take a look at another example. We have some settled offense again. Notre Dame's got the ball. Kavanagh here wraps around and basically like shoots for the outside of the net. But as soon as he sees, like, just watch this. As soon as he sees that it's there, he's in ride mode. And he just hunts the ball. So there's the goalie. And they're kind of just playing games. I mean, he's right there just like he doesn't really know what to do. And whereas Maryland has this guy open, but he's looking for the shorty over here. But you can kind of just see the way that Kavanagh baits the guy. And Kavanagh's already in the Maryland goalie's head as it is, so we'll see what happens. So as soon as he gets out of the crease, these two guys are all over the goalie. He's not able to convert the pass. Notre Dame intercepts it. Kavanagh, Chris, scores the goal. Big goal. They go up 4. All right, the fourth reason why Notre Dame was able to take down Maryland was because of Devan McLean. So Devan is another grad student on Notre Dame's roster. You see they have a bunch of them, and came from Brown. At Brown, he was a second-team All-Ivy. He was a team captain, and he had a big-time resume at Brown during his junior and senior years. His freshman year, he got a little bit of time. His sophomore year was shortened by COVID, but he transferred to Notre Dame, and he had a big game against Maryland. So coming into the season, McLean had 8 goals, and we can see here he actually scored earlier in this game as well. But let's take a look at this one because it's so good. So we got some settled offense here, and we see our boy Jack, who we were talking about right here, and he just causes he demands attention there on the inside because he's so dangerous. But then Notre Dame's got a great little scheme here because they send McLean here cutting behind Jack for an open goal. So just a good cut and catch and finish for McLean. So here's another settled offensive play. So Notre Dame's playing some, 6-on-6 offense, just moving the ball around quickly. McLean gets it here. And you can see when he catches it there, this defender is a little held up. So McLean turns the corner quick with no angle and scores, and also draws a penalty at the same time. That's his 3rd goal of the game. So he's got 3 goals as well. So the 5th reason why Notre Dame was able to take down Maryland was because of Jordan Faison. And Jordan Faison is a freshman stud, and he plays both football and lacrosse, and he's a top recruit in both sports. So here we can see Jordan. He's 5'10", 182 pounds. So here we can see he was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and we'll show you some clips of him playing football for Notre Dame as well. But Faison had a big game. He plays a ton. He had 3 goals, so we'll take a look at a couple of those goals. So check out this goal by Faison here. So we got some more settled offense here, and this gets the football team going crazy. So we have the feed. So here we can see Faison's number 14. You'll see him cutting to the ball and then get this behind the back shot. So boom, catch behind the back. And then you can just see the football team going nuts over their boy, putting them up 5. I mean, Maryland was down 5 for the majority of the game. So there you can see that was Jordan's 7th goal of the season. So we'll take another look at it here. Put it in slow motion. I mean, he catches that ball. Good cut. He catches that ball kind of at his hip, brings it over his shoulder. Or I guess he kind of looks at it to make sure he caught it. And then for the behind the back goal, that just shows how athletic he is. Because, I mean, he was probably going to catch it and shoot it just regular. But then when he had to check to see if it was in his stick, he was in position to only shoot it behind the back. So here we're going to see Faison get the 11th goal as well. So he scored back-to-back goals. So we got a little bit of a transition situation here. Notre Dame's getting their guys on. And once they're fully subbed, you can see Faison right up here catching. And he's going to just, nobody's really guarding him. Now he's being pulled. So, I mean, he's a freshman being pulled by Maryland 6-on-6 defense. So you know that he's just a really good, solid player. And he's just going to dodge that pull and score. Pings it. Puts him up 11-5. And he's feeling it. So the broadcast was pretty heavy into Faison as he's a special story. So here you can see him catching a touchdown pass in the most recent Notre Dame football bowl game. Just an athletic player. And just to top it all off here, this is the final plays of the game. And, Notre Dame's just running out the clock, but they put in probably their best athlete, which is Faison as a freshman. So he's being doubled, and he's just running. His endurance must be good because he's been running all game. And you'll see he just tops it off and gets the Notre Dame their 14th goal. So there he's just kind of inside rolling, dodging both guys. I mean, that's just athletic. Look at this. So he's boom, dodges him, jukes him. I mean, that juke just right there, just like he's coming out of a roll and he automatically jukes him, stays out of the crease, score, boom, athletic. All right, so there you have it. Those are the 5 reasons why Notre Dame took down Maryland in that big matchup this past weekend. And like I said earlier, if you want to pick up that shooting training to become a better lacrosse shooter, just go ahead, click the link in this video. Until the next video, Coach Miller, talk soon.